A republic, if you can keep it. This is what Benjamin Franklin famously said in 1787. He had just drafted America's Constitution. Afterwards, a journalist asked him, "What have we got, a monarchy or a republic?" Franklin replied, "A republic, if you can keep it." These words ring true thousands of miles away in Nepal. It became a republic in 2008, but the people are struggling to keep it. Pro-monarchy protests have rocked the country. Let me repeat that. Protests to reinstate the king in a republic. That's what we are seeing in Nepal. Recently, these protests also turned violent. The monarchists clashed with the security personnel. More than 100 people were injured and at least 2 were killed. Take a look. The clashes have reached the parliament too. Usually parliament sessions are live streamed in Nepal, but yesterday the session was not, apparently because of technical issues. Later, a muted clip of the session was released. It shows heated exchanges in the lower house. Today, Prime Minister Palki Sharma Oli addressed the lawmakers. He accused the former king of disrupting social harmony. That's King Gyanendra Shah. He reigned from 2001 to 2008. He was ousted after Nepal became a republic. The government is clearly going after him. His security cover has been slashed. There is also a chorus to have him arrested. Several ruling party lawmakers have raised this demand. The question is, will Kathmandu agree? Chances are there will be a bigger crackdown. So far, Nepal has arrested 110 people, but Prime Minister Oli's language indicates something more. Let me quote from what he said. The alleged organizers attempted to drive a vehicle over the police and breached the restricted area. There were terrorist activities like setting fire to the international airport and the oil corporation's depot. Prime Minister Oli is calling these protests terrorism. Of course, any prime minister would. Nepal has fought hard to abolish the monarchy. No leader would support its return. Having said that, Oli is making one major mistake. He is not reading the public sentiment. Look at what he said last week. Oli told his lawmakers that India was involved in these protests. No evidence, no intelligence, just a random, baseless claim. And it's a strategy that we've seen before. Can't control your people, just blame the so-called foreign hand. But this strategy ignores the reality in Nepal, a disillusionment with democracy. That is the reality. Listen to some of these pro-monarchy protesters.
We need the country to return to monarchy and the king to come back because the political parties and system have failed in the country. When the source is so polluted, the entire system has gotten rotten.
The existence of this country is now fading, so a king is needed here. Without a king, our country will no longer exist. Within the next 15 years, this republic will break our country into pieces.
That's a grim assessment. The question is, what led to it? Political instability and lack of prosperity. This is what led to the current situation. Nepal has had 14 governments in 17 years. 14 governments in 17 years. 10 prime ministers have ruled the country in this period. It's almost like a game of musical chairs. All this churn has affected the country's growth. Look at the numbers. Nepal grew by 3.9% in 2024. It is projected to grow by 4.9% in 2025. This is down from 6 to 7% in the last decade. So Nepal's growth momentum has been lost. As a result, joblessness is also high. Youth unemployment is close to 20% in this country. Many young Nepalese have left the country in search of jobs. Around 2.1 million of them live outside Nepal, and that is more than 7% of the entire population. This crisis is not the making of one political party. Like I said, governments keep changing here, so all of them are equally responsible, which is why these protests are happening. They're not just about restoring the monarchy, they're about protesting the hardships. Instead of addressing all of this, what does the Prime Minister do? He just calls them terrorists, and he floats an India angle. It's a strategy that could easily backfire because right now the royalists are a fringe group. They have just 14 seats in Nepal's parliament, 14 out of 275 seats. Yes, they have mobilized a movement on the streets, but that is not backed by actual political power. If Prime Minister Oli is not careful, he may end up changing that. If the crackdowns intensify or if the ex-king is arrested, then this movement could explode. So now is a chance to prove that democracy works. Let's see if Oli makes the most of it.
Greeting you with aloha and namaste.
I love India.
Presence, occupation of a territory by another country pertains to India, what we saw in Kashmir.
How do you see Trump's America?
Yes, the current administration behaves differently from the previous administration.
Are you saying that there are foreign powers who are trying to bring down the current government in Syria?
Exactly.
Bluntly, Iran, maybe Russia too.
Prime Minister Modi committed to South-South, cooperation.
Not over 50%.
Is Ukraine prepared to pay the price for that peace?
No compromises at the cost of territorial integrity and sovereignty.